Okay, I got my new cup wheels that I had ordered off eBay for the new grinders, carbide grinders that I'm building, and I want to check to make sure that they're running true and flat. So I'm going to take and lower you down a little bit here. I'm going to take and check them on the surface plate here. That's what they look like. They did come, and I don't see anything like the other ones were smashed basically, but they were dished, not cup. These are cup, so they're deeper. It's like a deeper dish wheel. They have a, I don't know how wide that grinding land is. Let me get a scale here, and we'll measure that. It is. So we got about 400 thousandths of land there to grind, and you could actually use the edge a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them down like this here, and then I'm going to check this back side to see how true and flat that is to the grinding surface. I'll get a high stand here. High stand over here. Get an indicator. Let's see. I had an indicator. Set that over here. Alright, we'll put an indicator on here. And we'll see what we get. Hopefully they run flat. If not, I'll have to somehow set it up and get that flat and running true. And then I'll have to check the bore next after this. I'll do that on a lathe. Okay. Come on. Alright, we're at 0 here. Let's move you in a little bit here. You can kind of see what I'm checking. Like I say, I'm checking to see that this surface is parallel to that, because that's what's going to butt up against the shoulder on my. And I'd say it's within. This one is within about half a thousandths. Because that indicator is actually pretty accurate. I mean, I've had it for, it's a thou, but it reads, you can see half. I do have a tenths indicator, I guess I could put in if I wanted to get that critical. Got a little bit of wobble on this one. Didn't notice that on this. Oh, look at here. That label. No, that one's, once it's nice and flat. Ah, yeah, see, the label is poking over. Hopefully that's all it is that's causing it. Okay. Yep. That's all that was causing it, was that label was onto the grinding surface. There are different heights. I don't know how much. But that doesn't really, it ain't that much. It's just a few thousandths. Well within a half a thou. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up a spud that'll fit in there nice and snug, and then I'll stick this on a lathe and push it up tight against the shoulder, and we'll see how true it's running, how concentric it's running to this outside. Although that doesn't really matter, because I'm going to be, the only thing that really matters is, you know, it has to be, this has to be running without any wobble or shake in it, because you're going to only, on this grinder, the wheel is going to, I'll back you up here, the wheel is going to sit on here like that, and the table is going to be out here, so the only thing you're going to be using is that face anyway. So, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the lathe and turn up a spud, and when I get ready to check that, I'll come back and I'll show you what they check out at. And these wheels are very inexpensive, you know. It's I'm surprised that they sell them for that price, for the price that they're selling them. I have one that's bigger than this already. I already made a carbide grinder, but it's way bigger than this. It's it must be about an 8-inch wheel, cup wheel, and the land is a lot bigger on that. So I think this is going to work out pretty good, though, for what I want it to do. I just, like I say, I just want a little carbide grinder that I can move around. I can grab it and go over here, and so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the lathe and turn up a spud. So when I get done with that and I start checking it, I'll come back and I'll give you the scoop on it, and we'll see how true it runs anyway. Until then, catch you later. Okay, I'm over on the lathe and I turned up a little spud with a shoulder on it. I put a washer in there, and I'm pushing it up tight against that shoulder and on the back, and it's located on the diameter that I turn, and we're going to see how true that's running laterally or concentric to the diameter of the hole here. See if I can set this on the tailstock here. Set the indicator down on it. I don't like doing this with my indicator. Usually I put a piece of tape around it so that grit is, but this looks almost like there's a that it's, I don't know, I can get into the aluminum, but that won't give me a true reading. So anyway, let's zoom in here and see if you can see what's going on. I'll get you over here so you can see the indicator. If it will focus. Come on, focus on this right down here. No, I gotta back up a little bit. There we go. All right, so we're at 0 there. Well, that's about 3.5 thou to a half thou, almost 3/4 of a thou, about a half a thou above to 3.5, so about 4 thou. It's running true within 4 thou, which is plenty close enough. Like I say, I'm not going to be using this out here. I'm just going to be using the face. Let's just check to make sure the face is running true. It should be. We checked that on the surface plate, that face. So, and here again, now I'm going to be grinding away on my it's not really running true there either. It should be up against that shoulder square. course, I'm not picking up all the, when you're sitting on a surface plate, I could be picking up, you know, 3 spots too, so. But if it's within 4 thou, that's going to be plenty good enough, because I'm just hand grinding carbide on this, and it'll be for lathe tools and boring bars and stuff like that, so it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and take this back out of here. Take this back off, and what I'm going to do, come on, I'm going to face this off, and then I'm going to drill and tackle. I'm not going to drill and tap. I'm just going to put a clearance hole in there. And what it's going to be is I'll come up with a clearance hole that I can slide this over, so whatever threads I want to put on the end of the motor shaft, and I don't remember what diameter that was. It's splined, but that's fine. That's not going to hurt. So it's 440. So I'll probably want to go down to a 5/16 thread on here. Although I could drill and tap that too instead of single pointing threads. No, I'm going to go with a 5/16. I'll turn a 5/16, so I will put a 5/16 clearance hole through the spud that I've turned up here, and then that'll get slid on here, and then I'll have a nut. I'll single point threads, and then but I'll have, take the motor apart. They come apart really nice. I mean, it just got the set of brushes on the end. You just pull that end off, pull the other end off, and then you could take and put it between centers. It's got centers on both ends, so it's really nice. I mean, and actually I don't even need to put it between centers. I could put it in a 5C collet, and then center in the end, and then turn my diameter with the shoulder, and then turn threads here, and the threads will be 5/16. You'll still see remnants of the spline on the thread, but it's not going to matter. It still will be fine, because you don't have to horse the nut down. I could actually turn threads right, a 3/8 thread on there, and it would be just fine. And maybe that's what I want to do. That would give me a shoulder of 40, 65 thou, 30, be a 30 thou shoulder on that. I'll have to think about it. I'm thinking 5/16, so would be fine. I think I'm going to go with 5/16. Alright, so anyway, that's what's going to happen next. I'm just going to face this off, center drill it real good, and drill a nice straight hole, and then ream a hole through it. Normally on something like that I would bore it, but I think I can get away with just, if I'm careful, drilling and reaming it. The thing about if you want a straight hole on the lathe and you're drilling a deep hole on the lathe, just a little tip that I've found is actually true, and an older feller told me this, that when you're drilling a deep hole and you want the drill to run true, don't bang the bottom of the hole. If you come out and you go back in for peck drilling and you bang the bottom of the drill, if the lips on the cutting lips on the drill are varied any even just a couple thou, it pushes the drill over. So then all of a sudden you got the drill walking off. So you never want to bang the bottom of the hole. You want to come back up and then creep up to it and then touch it and then go. So it's just it's just like I say, it's just a little tidbit that I was told, and I have found that it actually is true, because if I bang a hole on the bottom, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to run true. So anyway, enough jabbering. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then part it off, and then I'll have to make 2 of them, and then I'll come back when I'm taking the motor apart and getting it ready to cut the. I'll come back when I'm ready to cut the shafts down on the motors. I'm going to show you how to take them apart and cut the shaft down and single point some threads on. I use that same motor right down here, that same exact motor right here, and I did the same thing here. I took the shaft out, I took the armature out of the motor and turned it down for a press fit of a pulley on there. That's my power feed for the lathe. So anyway, it worked good there, so hopefully it'll work good over here too. So until then, catch you later.